Look up at the moon tonight. That dead gray rock that's hung there your whole life. Now imagine it's gone, and in its place, a second Earth. Blue oceans, white clouds, storms you can watch move, maybe even city lights glowing on its dark side. It would be the most beautiful sight in human history. It would also drown every coastal city, crack the planet open, and rewrite our future before it even began. And the last thing it would do? It would mean humanity was never, ever alone. Stay till the end. This gets stranger than you think. First, understand how small our real moon is. About 1/80th the mass of Earth. A lifeless ball of gray dust, 384,000 kilometers away. And even that tiny rock runs our world. It pulls our oceans into tides. It holds our planet's tilt steady, which keeps our seasons stable. It softly lights our nights. Without it, life here might never have settled into the rhythm that let us exist. That gray rock is quietly one of the reasons you're alive. Now let's run the experiment. We take the moon away and drop a second Earth into the exact same spot. Same distance, but 81 times heavier. Alive, blue, wrapped in its own oceans, its own clouds, maybe its own life. Here's everything that happens next. It happens in a single instant. You step outside at night, look up out of habit, and freeze. The familiar gray disk is gone. In its place hangs a giant blue marble, nearly 4 times wider than the old moon, glowing with sunlight, swirling with weather, close enough to trace its coastlines with your bare eyes. For a moment, it's the most beautiful thing anyone has ever seen. And then the planet starts to react. Start with the nights, because they're never truly dark again. A second Earth is bigger and far brighter than the moon. It floods the night with soft blue light, bright enough to read by, bright enough to cast your shadow on the ground at midnight. You'd lie awake watching its weather move. Hurricanes spiraling across its oceans, the glowing line of its sunrise sweeping over its continents. A whole living world, turning right above you. And every couple of weeks, it would slide in front of the sun. Not a quick eclipse like today. This disk is 4 times bigger. Day would drop into deep twilight for hours, again and again, on a schedule. And where 2 planets' magnetic fields meet, the skies could blaze. Auroras pouring across the heavens far beyond anything we see today. But the sky is the gentle part. Look down, because the sea and the ground are where it turns deadly. The moon gives us gentle tides, about a meter. A second Earth, 81 times heavier, would heave the oceans up by tens of meters. Twice a day, a wall of water would march miles inland, then retreat, then return. Every coastal city on Earth, New York, Tokyo, Mumbai, London, drowned, drained, and drowned again. Twice, every single day. Humanity could never build a city by the sea. Our ports, our trade routes, our greatest cities. None of it could ever exist. The whole map of human history would be different. And the water is just the surface. The real violence is underneath it. That same massive pull doesn't stop at the oceans. It grips a solid rock beneath your feet and stretches it. The ground itself would rise and fall like a tide. The entire crust flexed and kneaded twice a day until it tears. Earthquakes would never stop. Fault lines ripping open everywhere. Mountains rising faster than at any time in Earth's history. And all that flexing generates heat deep inside the planet. Volcanoes would roar awake across the globe, the same way tidal forces keep Jupiter's moons erupting today. Our calm, stable home would become a churning, glowing, geologically furious world. So, we've drowned the coasts and cracked the crust. But now comes the question that changes everything. Because that second Earth might not be empty. Look closely at it. Oceans, continents, weather gentle enough maybe for life to take hold. Which means there could be forests over there. Animals. And maybe, standing on a shore, looking up at the giant blue world in their sky. Someone looking back at us. 2 living worlds, hanging in each other's skies, close enough to see one another's storms, one another's seasons, one another's city lights at night. Every human who ever lived would have grown up staring at another inhabited planet, knowing with absolute certainty that we were not alone. And if you can see their city lights, a thrilling, terrifying thought follows. You could go there. Our astronauts reached the real moon in 3 days. A second Earth sits at that exact same distance, 3 days away. So, contact wouldn't be some far future dream. From the moment either world built a rocket, the two could visit each other. Human history would be a 2-planet story from the very beginning. Explorers, trade, alliances, maybe even wars fought across the gap between 2 Earths. 2 species, Or maybe two halves of one, forever within reach and forever apart, sharing a sky and sharing a fate. But give it enough time, and the strangest thing of all happens. The two worlds slowly lock together. That enormous gravity would gradually slow both planets until each one always shows the same face to the other, which means one half of Earth would see that giant blue world overhead forever, and the other half would never see it at all. Two humanities, one raised beneath another world, and one that only heard the legends of it. And here is where this whole nightmare flips into something almost unbearably beautiful. Everything that would destroy us, the tides, the quakes, the fire, all of it comes from one thing, that second world being close enough to touch us. And that exact same closeness would give us something no human in our real history has ever had. Proof, written across the sky every night, that life is not a fragile, lonely accident. Think about what that does to us. No human would ever lie awake wondering, is anybody out there? The answer would be right above them, blue and glowing, from the day they were born. It would reshape our religions, our art, our philosophy, our entire sense of who we are. Not through some discovery, but just by being there. Impossible to ignore. So tonight, look up at our real moon, that silent, empty, gray rock. Its emptiness is, in a way, the loneliest fact about us. We look up, and no one looks back. But maybe that emptiness is the most important thing that ever happened to us. Because a sky with another Earth in it would have answered our greatest question before we ever thought to ask it. The empty moon is the reason we still wonder, still reach, still build rockets to go and find out. Maybe being a little bit alone is exactly what made us explorers. This was beyond if. If chasing impossible questions to where they actually lead is your kind of thing, there are plenty more waiting. Like and subscribe, and let's keep going.